Well, I would like to see, and again, this is just an idea, the same type of things that Boeing or Amazon gets as a big developer, or the one for Newberry Plaza gets in tax savings or incentives or whatever phrase you use. If that, I'd rather have the city sell that for at least what they've got into it, and then give the developer future money off of something else, if possible. I mean, then you're recouping the money that's already been invested. And then future money is, it sits there for 10 years empty, you're not losing anything if you put a developer in there, and give them 5 years of tax free.
Sure, yeah.
Something like that. But smaller organizations should benefit from the same way Amazon and Boeing get the incentives.
Well, and there's some challenges too with the tax structure in the state, and the incentives you mentioned with Boeing don't exist on the commercial. Now, one thing, and I think actually funding these projects kind of similar to some of the anchors downtown to create customer bases for businesses, that was the theory behind it, could apply to this list of projects with the TIP. But another concept, and I talked with Wayne Adams about this because it's done at the county level a couple of years ago, was the idea of converting downtown into multi-county industrial park, which would enable you to use the money in different ways. And I know it sounds like semantics, but it converts the money from tax dollars into a fee. And the state constitution regulates taxes differently than they do fees. I think, though, the approach of the intergovernmental agreement and the TIF revenues is the way to go. I think that's more doable. And I think those projects, especially if we can all come together and develop that list, we can have the same kind of impact.
Okay, that'll work.
Can I ask you a question? The hospitality tax. Why is it that the city cannot draft that tax out of my checking account? I mean, that's redundant for me to have to take time out of my day to go down and pay that bill. When you draft out my electric bill.
It's it kind of ironic you're asking me that tonight. I thought about that this afternoon and did not, I didn't get a chance. I had several meetings today. I came down to speak with Shannon Smith, our finance director, and I just wondered, is there a way to make that more automated? And it may be draftable. Let me look at that. I did actually, it's strange that I thought about that today, but
That would be really nice.
I wonder if that's something we can do.
That would be nice. That'd be one less thing for me to have to
Now,
worry about forgetting to pay.
Just give it to Sean pay it. Sean pay it.
Jeff, I'm sorry, as soon as you answer your question, this is very polite gentleman who's raised
No,
his hand 4 times. Are you done?
This is Steve Barnfield.
He's my neighbor. He lives on the other side of Jackie.
Did you get your question answered, sir?
No.
Would you like to ask it?
Well, I just tell you what's gonna happen right here tonight.
I'm listening.
And I'm in agreement with most of you here. Eddie Anderson left a minute ago. He has been in business longer than you've been than anybody else.
Longer in the state.
He and
Oldest
his family's business. We have been in business, Sun Breeding, since 1929. And I've been to many of these meetings, and I concur with a lot of what y'all say, but I can tell you what's gonna happen. We're gonna walk out of here tonight, and not one single thing is gonna happen. Because not one single person is gonna take charge and get anything started and written down. You got all this enthusiasm in this room and all this talk, but what's been done about anybody taking charge of what happened at this meeting tonight?
Well, I nominate you. You do it.
I already said Sean, since he's, is the city gonna take over and do anything? Who's recorded all this information tonight about what needs to be done? Who's gonna take the next step and say, okay, we don't do this?
Well, so it's got it all on tape.
Are you on right here, man?
It's up to merchants.
Now, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying.
That's right.
Everybody's been sitting here tonight and crying and bitching about everything that's going on, and they've had some great ideas. But you know what we've done? We wasted 2 hours of our lives.
Why are you here then?
Griping and bitching because nobody is going to take the lead and do anything about it.
The next meeting, when is the next meeting?
How about
They have a calendar.
4 weeks from today?
So what's going to happen in 4 weeks?
Will you
What's
challenge
going
me?
to happen between
Well,
now
I have a couple questions from last week.
Yeah, tell me.
I was wondering, Jeff,
I was wondering, Jeff, if there was any headway made on having a small business utility rate,
Well, I was headed that way when.
as far as getting things done to help people survive in the business climate.
Yeah, I've got the number crunchers crunching the numbers just to see, the only, we've got an economic development rate that we're eligible for through PMPA, but it's for large customers. I mean, you have to be over like 750,000 kW a month or whatever, Walmart doesn't even qualify for that now that they put their energy efficiency measures in. So what we have to do is figure out a way, how tight can we reduce the retail margin to maybe zero? I mean, I got to look at the numbers before I can tell you to get it down to the wholesale rate. And I was just going to mention this small business. The other thing that needs to be looked at is where is the threshold set and how many customers does it involve? Because what will happen is if you start, virtually all your small businesses get it around the city, then, your power cost is not going to change. So, I mean, the burden for paying that is going to be shifted to homeowners or industries or whomever. So, I mean, the financial analysis is being done now on that.
Okay.
I don't have the results.
But does the homeowners not, the average homeowner, is their bill not higher than the average business owner, small business owner? Not a restaurant, but Mr. Anderson's bill, for instance. I mean, the usage, small business is charged more than any other residential or business, any other business there is. Small business pays the highest rate.
Well, what we have now, we have a residential rate, a commercial rate, and an industrial rate. And so what we would be talking about here is establishing a threshold below which you would qualify for the small business rate. So many kilowatt hours per month, and you would qualify for that lower rate. And I think it's just a matter of how low can we get that rate, and then what size services qualify for it. I mean, what point do you get to where you move from small commercial to commercial?
Well, I
And
agree.
numbers are
I agree.
really- I can't tell you.
But I mean, it's true though that small business, overall small business, their rate, our rate, is higher than any of the other rates. We discount the big businesses that come into town and we give them all the breaks, but the small businesses' actual rate is higher.
Commercial rate is,
I mean, it's on the city's website. The rates are there.
I have to look at the industrial rate. I mean, I think it is a little bit lower. The residential rate is. I mean, the way our rate structure is now, the residential rate is, is the most advantageous one. But yeah, I mean, you'd have to be able to. I mean, it's going to involve shifting burden. I mean, but if we can keep the rate where it's at wholesale or slightly above wholesale, then at least there won't be the other rate classes that are paying for the purchase of power for the businesses, out of the reactor.
I have a suggestion. How about January 8th, which is exactly 1 week past New Year's Day. It's on Tuesday. For us restaurant folks, Tuesday's
That's
kind
city
of-
council night, huh?
Oops. How about?
So do 15th to the
You're supposed to
22nd.
keep me in check. Okay.
What night? Everybody, come on, what night? We're all business owners.
Tuesday.
Is it a night, is
Okay,
it a
what's the
day?
best
Somebody
night,
give us
guys?
some ideas. We don't need to walk out of here without a date.
Monday or Tuesday is better.
All right, how about?
Night or day?
Mondays.
Right.
Mondays.
Okay, Monday? What
Well,
about
wait, well,
Monday?
I got a problem with Mondays. I'm the only restaurant in downtown open.
All right.
Okay,
My business.
Tuesdays.
So, I mean, yeah, go
The other days too.
Guys.
I'm
how
open every
about
day, but yeah.
Tuesday? How about Tuesday the 15th? Come on now, we're not that.
Do we need 2 meetings? Do we need 1 meeting? Let's just don't walk out of here with something
It's gonna
planned.
go to his question, let's make a difference, let's put pussyfoot around.
Yeah, what's going to happen between now and Tuesday?
I understand. I agree
Walk
that,
out of this room and nobody's.
I would like to make a suggestion, excuse me.
Yeah.
If I could say something, please?